The weight of silence presses against my chest, heavier than any physical burden I've carried in my long years. Living alone after 60 is a landscape of invisible battles, fought in empty rooms where memories echo like distant whispers. My body, this aging vessel, carries stories that no one will hear unless I speak them now, with an urgency that burns through my weakening bones. I remember when solitude was a choice. Now it is a sentence, pronounced without trial, executed with brutal precision. Every morning I wake to the same silence, a silence so thick you could almost touch it, so dense it suffocates hope. The clock ticks. My breath rasps. Outside, the world continues, indifferent to my existence. Loneliness is not romantic. It is not peaceful. It is a predator that moves slowly, consuming your spirit inch by inch. No one tells you how dangerous the quiet becomes, how a missed medication can mean weeks in a hospital, how a fall can transform your entire reality in a single breathless moment, how your body becomes a fragile mechanism, one small failure away from complete breakdown. My children call occasionally, perfunctory conversations filled with polite distance. They have their lives, their rhythms, their worlds. I am a footnote, a distant memory they manage with guilt and occasional phone calls. But guilt does not provide warmth. Guilt does not hold your hand when the night feels endless. The risks accumulate like dust. Malnutrition creeps in when cooking becomes a Herculean task. Depression lurks in corners, waiting to consume what little energy remains. Medical emergencies become silent threats, hanging like invisible cobwebs around my existence. One wrong step, one forgotten pill, one moment of weakness, and everything can collapse. I've watched friends disappear, not dramatically, just quietly. A hospitalization here, a nursing home there. Slowly, the social circle shrinks until you become the last one standing, a witness to an entire generation's fate. We are not statistics. We are human beings being systematically erased by a society that values youth and productivity above all. My hands, once strong, capable of building, repairing, creating, now tremble when I reach for a glass of water. Each movement is a negotiation with pain, with limitation. Arthritis is not just a medical condition, it is a brutal reminder of mortality, of the slow surrender of the body to time's relentless march. But I am more than my physical decline. I am a repository of stories, of wisdom earned through decades of living. And if you are listening, truly listening, understand this. Aging is not a weakness. It is a profound journey of transformation, of stripping away the unnecessary, of discovering the core of human resilience. The danger of living alone is not just physical, it is the danger of becoming invisible, of losing your voice, of being forgotten before you've even stopped breathing. Subscribe, because these truths need to be heard. Because somewhere, someone needs to understand what it means to survive, to persist, to remain human in a world that wants to render you obsolete. Listen, I won't be here forever to tell you. The memories flood through me like a broken dam, unstoppable and raw. Survival is not just about breathing. It's about remembering, about understanding the intricate web of choices that brought me to this moment, to this solitude that feels both like a punishment and a revelation. I was never a man of many words in my younger years. My generation, we believed in action, in silent endurance. We fixed things. We provided. We did not speak about feelings, about vulnerabilities. Emotions were luxuries we could not afford, growing up in a world that demanded constant strength. But strength, I've learned, is not about silence. It's about honest connection. My marriage was a perfect example of that silent communication. Margaret, my wife for 47 years, we understood each other without words. A look, a gesture, a small touch was our language. But looking back, I realized how much remained unspoken. How many feelings were buried under decades of practical love, of survival. When she died, something fundamental shattered inside me. Not just the loss of a partner, but the sudden realization of how much we had left unsaid. Years of routine had replaced intimacy. Years of functioning had replaced feeling. And now, in my solitude, those unspoken words haunt me like restless ghosts. Isolation after 60 is not a choice. It is a gradual erosion, a slow disappearance that happens while the world keeps spinning. Your children grow, your friends pass away, your neighborhood changes, and you remain, a living artifact of another time, another way of being. I've watched technology transform everything. Smartphones, internet, social media, connection, they call it. But I see disconnection. People surrounded by devices, yet more alone than ever. Young people who cannot read a face, who communicate through screens, who have forgotten the art of true human presence. My days are measured in small victories, making breakfast, reading a book, watering my plants. Each action becomes a negotiation with my body, with my limitations. Look, pain is a constant companion, more reliable than any human relationship at this point. Arthritis moves through my joints like a slow burning fire, reminding me of my mortality with every movement. But pain is not my enemy. Pain is a messenger. It tells stories of a life lived, of battles fought, of resilience that goes beyond physical strength. Every ache carries a memory. Every limitation holds a lesson. The most dangerous aspect of aging is not physical decline. It is the risk of becoming irrelevant, of being forgotten, of losing your voice, your identity, your sense of purpose. Society sees older people as burdens, as problems to be managed, not as reservoirs of wisdom, of lived experience. I've seen friends vanish into nursing homes, into medical systems that strip away their humanity, reduced to medical records, to a series of diagnoses. But we are more than our health conditions. We are stories. We are memories. We are the living history of human experience. My survival is an act of resistance. Every day I wake up, every moment I choose to remain engaged, to remain curious, to remain human. It is a defiance against a world that wants to render me invisible. Listen, because these words are not just mine. They are the unspoken truths of an entire generation. The world changes, but some truths remain eternal. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is the most profound form of courage. I learned this not in moments of triumph, but in the quiet spaces between breaths, in the raw, unfiltered moments when life strips you down to your most authentic self. My generation was taught to hide. Hide emotions, hide struggles, hide anything that might suggest imperfection. We built walls around our hearts, believing strength meant never showing a crack, never admitting a wound. But walls, I've discovered, are prisons we build for ourselves. True strength is in revealing your fractures and allowing yourself to be seen, I remember the day everything changed. It wasn't a dramatic moment. No thunderous revelation. Just a simple morning, sunlight filtering through curtains Margaret had chosen decades ago. My hands were shaking more than usual. The coffee cup felt like a mountain to lift. And in that moment, I understood. Survival is not about maintaining an illusion of invincibility. It's about accepting your own fragility. Loneliness after 60 is a landscape of profound paradox. You are simultaneously invisible and hypervisible. People look through you, yet everyone seems to have an opinion about your existence. Doctors see a collection of symptoms. Family sees a responsibility. Strangers see a potential burden. But who sees the human? Who sees the lifetime of experiences, the depth of emotions, the complex inner world? My body tells stories my mouth never could. Each scar, each wrinkle, each trembling hand. They are chapters of a book written in flesh and memory. I've survived wars, not just the external ones with weapons, but the internal battles that truly define a life. Battles against fear, against societal expectations, against the slow erosion of one's spirit. The modern world moves at a speed that leaves older generations breathless. Technology races forward while we struggle to understand its basic language. But wisdom is not about keeping up. Wisdom is about understanding the fundamental rhythms of human connection, the timeless emotions that bind us regardless of technological advances. I've learned that isolation is a choice, even when physical circumstances seem to dictate otherwise. Connection is not about proximity. It's about openness, about being willing to share your most vulnerable self, about creating spaces where genuine communication can happen. My children think they're protecting me by occasional phone calls, by managing my medical appointments, by ensuring I have basic necessities. But protection is not love. Love is presence. Love is truly seeing another human being, hearing their unspoken struggles, acknowledging their continued relevance. If you're listening, understand this. Aging is not a decline. It is a transformation, a stripping away of the unnecessary, a distillation of life into its most essential truths. Every limitation is an invitation to discover a different kind of strength. Every loss is an opportunity for a deeper understanding of what truly matters. Subscribe. Because these stories need witnesses. Because somewhere, someone needs to know they are not alone in their journey. My voice might be soft, but my spirit remains unbroken. The end approaches, not with drama, but with a quiet certainty that settles like dust on forgotten photographs. I do not fear death. What I fear is the possibility of having lived without truly understanding the profound simplicity of being human. My life was not extraordinary by grand standards. No world-changing achievements, no monuments bear my name. But extraordinary lives are not measured by public recognition. They are measured by moments of genuine connection, by the subtle ways we touch each other's souls without even knowing. I think about love now, not the romantic illusion sold by movies, but the raw, imperfect love that survives disappointment, distance, time. Love that forgives, love that understands, love that remains present even in silence. Margaret and I, we did not have a perfect marriage. We had a human marriage full of compromises, unspoken tensions, deep respect. Regrets accumulate like sediment at the bottom of a river. The career opportunity I did not pursue. The conversation with my son I kept postponing. The vulnerability I was too afraid to show. These are not failures, they are lessons. Painful, beautiful, essential lessons about the human condition. Solitude after 60 is a ruthless teacher. It strips away pretense. It forces you to confront yourself, not the image you constructed, but the raw essence of who you truly are. No filters, no social masks, just pure unvarnished existence. Technology cannot replace human touch. Those digital connections, those quick messages, they are shadows of real intimacy. Real connection requires presence, requires putting down the phone, requires looking into another's eyes and seeing their soul's landscape. I've watched generations pass, seen societal transformations that would have been unimaginable in my youth, but human emotions, they remain unchanged. Fear, hope, love, loneliness. These are universal languages that transcend technological revolutions. My body is a map of survival. Each scar tells a story. Each wrinkle holds a memory. I am not diminished by age. I am expanded by experience, by understanding, by the profound recognition that life is not about avoiding pain, but about embracing its transformative power. To the young ones listening, do not waste time. Do not hide your vulnerabilities. Do not postpone love. Do not let fear paralyze your authentic expression. Life is breathtakingly brief, a momentary spark in the infinite universe. Subscribe. Because these truths are not just mine, they belong to every human heart willing to listen, to feel, to truly live. The clock ticks. My breath grows softer, but my spirit remains infinite. What will you do with your precious, unrepeatable life?